everyone, welcome back. So I did say in my last video that I was going to make a story time about what happened to me in Texas and all the struggles that I went through. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm coming back to tell you all about what happened to me in Texas. It was a rough ride. It's been almost a year since I've been travel nursing, and so far Texas have been the most craziest story. It is where I first started travel nursing. I went to Texas in March of 2023, and I never thought to have an experience like that. So yeah, so let's just dive into it. So I have some stuff written in my iPad, and then I'm just gonna go ahead. So if you want to listen to this story, you know, it's just like a chill video. So if you want to grab something to eat while I talk, go right ahead, because I'm about to spill all the tea here. So basically in March 2023, I got my contract. I went with AMN and I got a contract in San Antonio, Texas. So I went to a hospital there. I'm not going to say the name of the hospital. I don't know if I'm allowed to, and I don't want to get in trouble for my experience. But anyways, I went to San Antonio, and at this time I didn't have my SSN, but my my recruiter told me that that's totally fine. You're gonna get your SSN once you land, or you're gonna cross the border while you get your TN visa. So I went to get my TN visa. I went to apply for my SSN, and as I was saying in my last video where I didn't go the next day to get my number, I just assumed that it was going to be mailed to my house. And so I needed a number to start my job, because if I don't have a number, I am not legally allowed to work in the US, right? So I didn't have a number, and I went to my first day orientation, and they asked me, what's your SSN number? And I said, I don't have it. I still, a month after, I did not have my number. So mind you, I've now came to San Antonio, booked my place for 2 months, bought my groceries for the whole month, because, you know, I came a little early just to get settled down. Bought my groceries, stayed in this place, and now my first day came, and I'm still freaking out that I don't have my SSN. And I called the SSN, like I went to Buffalo, New York. That's where I crossed the border. So I called the people, and they said that, oh, don't worry, your number is gonna come. And they don't share. I have a number already, SSN number already, but they don't share it. So that was the biggest problem. It's like I had a number, they won't share it through phone, they won't share it through anywhere else, and I have to now wait for the mail, SSN mail, to be sent to Canada, and you know, and then only I will know my number. So that's the biggest mistake that I made. If you are planning to go American travel nursing, it's better to go the next day. So like I did cross the border, got my TN visa, applied for the SSN, then go again on the next day. Then they will give you they will generate a number for you. Even though you don't physically have the card, they will generate the number and they'll tell you. So that's the biggest mistake I made. So now I'm in San Antonio with a place, with groceries. Like I basically planned my entire month in San Antonio, and here I am with all this stuff on my first day, and the person asked me, what's your SSN? So I had a morning orientation, or so the corporate orientation, nothing happened there. So this is the second half of my orientation, where I go to the unit and, you know, kind of get myself associated. And I tell the receptionist, I don't have an SSN. I'm still waiting for it. It's coming. So she, right off the bat, tells me, oh, sorry, we can't get you on the unit. We can't take your picture. We can't do anything. We cannot process you today because you need your number. So then I'm freaking out, right? I'm just like, but I like moved my whole life here. Like you know, like, what do you mean? What do you mean you can't process me? Like, I've came all the way here, and my recruiter kept telling me, it's like she's like, okay, you'll get it, right? You will get it. But the biggest mistake now, when I look back and reflect, is that, you know, it would take so long for the Canadian mail to reach my home. Because they were sending me a physical copy of my SSN card, it was taking so long. If I had sent it to an American address, I would have gotten it faster. So when she said she cannot process me, it was like a moment where I just was like, I had to step back and I had to pray, because I was thinking to myself, like, you know, this is where the spiritual side comes in, because I was like, I prayed to go travel nursing for a whole year. I wanted this so badly. I prayed for it for a whole year, and I felt like God was opening the doors for me. So I'm now in San Antonio. I have a place, I did everything, and you know, God did not just bring me here for me to just go home, right? So that's what I was thinking. So I was very disappointed. They were not letting me stay. They told me that, like, I'm sorry, we cannot legally process you because you don't have a legal number to work in the States. So I'm now calling the SSN office, and I'm on hold with them. I'm on hold with them for hours and hours, trying to figure out the situation. Like, what can I do? Like, how, like, well, my recruiter kept telling me, listen, we don't need your physical copy, we just need your number. Is there a way that you can call the people? And this is where I was saying earlier that its social security number will not be shared through a phone. It's for safety reasons. Like, they're not going to share your number through the phone. Like, you know, that's common sense. I mean, I don't expect that, but I wanted it so badly. I was asking them, please tell me. And then I decided, you know what, that day of not being processed, that was day one of my job, just passed by, and it left me. So then the next day, I planned to go to the SSN office in San Antonio. So I'm driving, driving to the SSN office, and then I get a call from my recruiter, and she says, Axa, I know you're going through a lot right now with finding your SSN, trying to figure all of this out, and you like being sent home half the day, and I'm so sorry you spent a lot of money to come here, but I got a word from the director that your contract is being canceled. So then that took me back. That took me back by so many steps, because I was like, what is going on? First, my SSN doesn't come through. Second, my contract is getting canceled. Third, what do you mean my contract is getting canceled? I literally settled here. I bought the whole month grocery. I bought a place. I put in my my lease for the place. So yeah, it was just bad. It was bad. But the funny thing is, that morning I was reading my Devo, and my Devo was just kept reminding me about like Hebrews 11, by faith, you know, by faith, Abraham did not know where he was going, but he still trusted God and he went. And that, I felt like I was Abraham. I was like, I don't know where I'm going. I don't know if I have a job. I've quit. No, I didn't quit my staff job. I left my staff job. I left my staff job as a PRN. I just said, you know, I'll be there. I left it as a casual job, and I came all the way down here for travel nursing. And now everything is just upside down. I don't know what's going on. And I just like said that prayer. I was like, God, like, you're in control of this. Make the situation what it needs to be, like, you know, let your will be done, kind of thing. So I still drove to the SSN office, and I'm sitting there, and you know, the SSN office in America sucks. I'm sorry for all the Americans. Like, if I have number 2, it's not 1, 2, 3. It goes by random numbers. So I just never know when I'm being called, and I'm sitting there for hours and hours. So that part really sucks. So I finally get called and I ask the lady, I tell them the situation. Hey, like I've applied for my SSN, I still haven't got it. Like, is there any way that you can try to fix this? You know, blah, 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 right? And then she was like, sorry, we cannot share your SSN. And I was just so confused because I'm like, at this point, I just need my number to start, right? I just need my number to start. So she said, I'm sorry, we cannot give you your number because we are not the one that processed it. But I'm telling her, hey, here's my ID. It's me. I am AXA. Give me my SSN. And she said, no, sorry, you have to call the Buffalo and ask them. And I told her, you know, they don't share that through the phone. And then, so then I'm on the phone to Buffalo again, and I'm talking to them and I'm asking them, hey, like, can I please have my SSN? Because apparently they told me I'm supposed to call you. And then the Buffalo people are saying that San Antonio people don't know anything, because if you go to the office, they should be giving you your number. So then I went again to the SSN office and I waited, and I got a different person this time, and they gave me my number. Okay, this is third day. When I went again, it was third day, because I went home kind of disappointed, and I was just like, okay, I don't know what's happening. Like, my recruiter said 2 weeks. They give you 2 weeks notice. You can work for 2 weeks and they're gonna cancel your contract. So I said, I don't even have my SSN, so I don't know how I can work for 2 weeks. But anyways, the next day I went to the office again. I got a different person. Thank God this person had more sense, and they were like, yeah, totally, I can give you your number. So they gave me my number. So I finally had a number, but I never had a physical copy. I had my SSN number. So then man, when I tell this story, it's kind of like the amount of times I went back and forth, and the unknowns, you know, the unknowns really push you, makes you a better person. And at that point I was like, you know what, everything is breaking loose, but I don't know, I just feel like I just need to continue trusting God in this. So anyways, I got my number, and then I called my recruiter and I let her know, finally I got my number. And she said, oh, that's really great. And then I went straight to, she said, okay, go straight to your facility and like the hospital and tell them that you have a number. And then I'm thinking to myself, why even? Like, why do I need to even do this? They canceled my contract. But she said, you can work for 2 weeks and then, you know, figure it out, right? So then I go to the reception and I tell them I have a number. They process me, and mind you, this is day 3 of my contract, so I lost a full day of orientation. And now we're in day 3. And if you know American travel nursing, you know, you either get a day, if you get 2 days if you're lucky, right? So I have now missed the orientation part of it. So I gave the number, and then they're like, okay, perfect, your process, blah, blah, blah. So then I go up and I'm getting oriented now. So I get half a day orientation, and I'm trying to tell the staff there, hey, like, I'm getting canceled, like, is there any way I can talk to the director? So then I finally talked to the director, and she was like, you know, we're not sure if you're canceled yet, but you might be, I'll still work on it and whatever. So then I said, okay, you know what, whatever, I am gonna just try to now figure out my rent situation, because I have to tell the renter, hey, I can't be staying here. Then I'm thinking, okay, I need to find another contract. My recruiter's trying to find me another contract. It was so painful. It was just a hard time. And so I was like, what am I supposed to do with all this grocery, all the money I spent to come here, you know? I just was like, you know what, God is in control of this. This is all up to him. If I'm supposed to go back to Canada, hey, at least I've tried this route. Maybe I'm supposed to do Canadian travel nursing, who knows? So then, yeah, I started working. The day 4 happened. I worked, I had the half the orientation, and then I kept working and working. And this place, this hospital, was like critical staffing. There would be, I'm a labor and delivery nurse, and so in the unit that I was coming from, there would be 14, like, you're supposed to have 14 staff on during day shift and 14 night shift. Mind you, they're not going to be always 14, there might be 12. 12 in the morning, 12 in the evening, and that's like short staffed, right? So here there was 5 nurses on. If you're lucky, you'll get 5. If not, you'll get 4 labor and delivery nurses. It's the busiest hospital, and you come in, you get 2. So the 5th day I came in, I finally got my login to the system was Cerner. I don't know if you guys know about Cerner, and it's like PowerChart basically. Cerner and what was the other one? I forget. But I've never used Cerner in my life. I've never used power charting in my life. I had no clue what was going on, and I got a half a day orientation, so I didn't get fully oriented. I've never seen the OR, how it looks like. I've seen a vaginal delivery because like that day there was somebody that was that day somebody gave birth vaginally, so that's what I saw. But I didn't have a login. I didn't know my schedule. I just knew by asking somebody, hey, when am I supposed to come next? So it was a mess, okay? It really was a mess. And I walked in there, so that my 5th day was my final day. It's a day by myself. I got my login, and they were like, here's your 2 patients. They're both active people. They were like, one was an induction and one was a multip. It was like a 2nd or 3rd baby, and they were like both of them needed things from me. And I've never had 2 delivering patients, because I was coming from Canada, where like even though our unit was busy, you get 1 patient at a time. You don't get 2 people. Like the whole experience made me a better person, because there was a lot of unknowns, and I was going from a level 2 hospital to a level 4 hospital, taking care of more high-risk patients, managing 2 people at the same time. So it really helped me grow as a nurse. At the same time, it made me a very flexible person. While this was going, I was just going with my 2 weeks, right? Because I had the permission to work 2 weeks, and after the 2 weeks I was like, I guess I'm going home. But at the same time, I was talking to the director, and the director was like, yeah, don't worry, we're actually not gonna cancel you, we're gonna let you work. So I stayed there for a couple more months, right? My contract was supposed to be 3 months, but yeah, but after the 2 months, around April, they canceled me again. Okay, they canceled me again, and I was very, like, that's when I really went home. So after the 2 month, I worked 7 weeks in San Antonio, and the rest of the weeks, like, I couldn't work it. But it was critical staffing, and still they canceled me. And I was very disappointed that they canceled me, because at this time I started making friends, I started to get to know the place. And yeah, like every day when I would go to work, I would have anxiety, because like I said, it was a very crazy place, but also I was getting used to the American system, and I was getting used to doing certain things in a certain way. I was learning the Cerner software, Word document. I was finally figuring out my rhythm, and that's when I get canceled, and I was like, are you kidding me? So when I got canceled the 2nd time, I really was like, okay, like the Lord really does not want to be here, want me here. And at the same time, I felt like, this place was a lot for me. Even though I was getting by by the grace of God, it just was so much that I felt like, okay, maybe I'm supposed to do something else. Maybe I'm supposed to do something lighter. Because yeah, like I was doing nights, and if you know me personally, you know that I hate night shifts. Like it's not me. I am a morning person. I love working day shifts. I would, back home when I was in Canada, I would switch all my nights to days. I would like find people to switch, because I'm not a night shift person. And so all of that, like, the work was hard, like getting there was hard, just everything was so hard. Being canceled not just 1 time, twice, and the whole process was a lot for me. And when I was living there in the first place, I don't know, I've never been to Texas. I mean, I never lived in Texas, so I didn't know cockroaches were such a big issue. I was living in a house that I first found, and it was infested with cockroaches. Like I would open the the dishwasher, and there would be cockroaches all over, and so I had to deal with that, and I had to move mid. I went to my night shift. I came back from my night shift in the morning. I had to pack up all my stuff. I had to move to a different house, and then move again, and just there was just a lot, man. It was just a lot, and I just remember, like, in the 2 months there's so much that happened to me, and like now that it's like almost a year, right, I'm reflecting and I'm just able to look back and see like why that was my first exposure. Even though so many things happened, I sometimes ask myself, like, why did it happen? And some ways I'm like, I begged for this. I begged to go to American travel nursing, and God finally was like, okay, fine, like I'll let you, kind of thing. And then that happened for me, and then I was just like, okay, this is rough, this is rough. And while I was getting canceled, I was just like, God, what am I supposed to do next? Like, I don't know what to do next. Do I just go back to my casual job in Canada, or do I now like find something else? And while I was going through this dilemma, I have somebody reach out to me. I don't know how they found my resume. I don't know how they reached out to me, but they were just like, I was coming back. I remember I was coming back visiting my cousins. They lived in Dallas, and so like I got a couple of days off from work, and so I went visited them, and I was coming back. And at this time, my contract wasn't canceled, and they were that person was asking me, hey, I found your resume on Indeed, and like, I don't know if you're interested, but Alberta is hiring, and if you're interested, let me know. And I told her, hey, like, I'm actually in America, San Antonio, and I'm not interested. And literally 3 days after, I got canceled from San Antonio, a hospital. And so it was really funny how God was working all of it out. At that point, I was just so tired working. I got used to the craziness, and even though like I was anxious going to work all the time, and I was like, okay, Lord, this is too much for me, but at the same time, like, I just want to finish this contract. Like, I felt like, God kind of knew that, and, he was hearing my prayer, and then he literally pulled me out from San Antonio, and then I went home after my contract was canceled, and then I started in Grand Prairie, Alberta, which turned out to be my favorite assignment ever. Like, if I look back, that's my favorite assignment. I stayed there for 7 months. I basically lived there for a whole year. Yeah, because I was only in Texas for 2 months, and then the rest of the months I was in Grand Prairie because I loved it so much. So it just goes to show you that, like, I was supposed to be in Grand Prairie, and I met so many kind people, so many I was just more connected there, and it was just so good for me. If anybody asks me, what is travel nursing like, it's just insane. It comes with good and bad, in my opinion, because travel nursing in America did not turn out to be everything that I expected it to, right? Like, I expected it to be good. I expected it to go well. I didn't expect it to have issues like being canceled, and thankfully the people that I rented from, they were super lovely. They gave me my money back. So thank God for that. And I found my housing through Furniture Finder, and that's a good thing because they gave me my money back. I think if I did Airbnb, I would have been in more of a trouble. And then the groceries, man, I just gave to my coworkers. I gave to one of my coworkers all the groceries, and then I left home. So what did I learn? What did I learn? Travel nursing in America is that travel nursing in America is a little bit more rough around the edges. Like, they do more things. Like, they're more high tech, they do more skills. I found the nurses there were super smart. They knew their stuff. As a person, what did I learn? It was my first time living alone. Like, I never had lived alone by myself. To like learn, I knew how to cook, but to get better in my cooking, I got better at my cooking. I got better in not freaking out. Like, when bad things happen to me now, I'm just like, okay, like, this is gonna figure itself out. Like somehow this is gonna figure itself out, because I had bad things happen to me on a daily basis when I was in Texas. Like I even got trafficked. Okay, I even got trafficked. It was a little bit scary situation for me with like these 3 men with their cars trying to tell me to come into their car. Like, yeah, but you know, by the grace of God, like I was okay. I went to Target the next day, bought pepper spray. You know, like there, and then I learned a lot about myself in that 2 months that I lived there, more than I would learn about myself in the past whatever years I've been on earth. So it was good for me that way to like step out, experience a different life, grow more as a nurse, grow more as a person, grow more spiritually. Just in all of those, I'm super grateful. I met even like I met such nice, kind people there too. And by trauma, we bonded. But yeah, I think that if you want to go to American travel nursing, I'm not discouraging you, but I think that you have to be open-minded, you have to be flexible, because Canadian nursing is different. I find it to be more relaxed, while American nursing is a little bit more, it's different. How we categorize fetal heart rate is different. How, you know, they're more likely to do IUPCs to measure the contractions. They're more likely to do amnio infusion, things like that. While in Canada, we don't really do those things. So I mean, there are places that does those things, but it's very unlikely. So in those ways, you know, like if you want to go travel nursing, be open-minded, just be flexible. And you know, I personally, for me now, it's like wherever I go, I just know that the Lord God is with me. He's going to walk with me. I'm not going to be alone. And it's truly by the grace of God that I'm still here, still travel nursing, because honestly, I don't know what I would do without my God. Like I would just be in thin air, just a little tumbleweed, and just stressed because the amount of bad things that happened to me, I can't even count them in my hands. But now, you know, because I traveled so much, because I took the plane like it's the bus, and went through all these hardships, like it just makes you a better person. It makes you stronger. And if you want to do it for your personal growth, if you want to do it just to grow, and also, you know, the money wasn't bad either. If you want to do it for that, yeah, like I would encourage you to do it. Like don't let my experience hold you back. And when I talk to other people, I'm in America again now, so clearly, like even though it didn't stop me from coming back to America, but I did talk to people and they told me that the South is a little bit more rougher, so I felt more validated. So these things happen, and it doesn't mean that's going to happen to everybody, but it is something that you have to be aware of, to be open-minded. You know, if you are going to America for the first time as a Canadian RN, just make sure you have your SSN. Don't book your place of stay. Now I know, I would now book my place for a week at a hotel until I know for sure that this place it's not going to cancel me. You know, I would do that. I would not find a place right away. I should take my own advice because I definitely didn't take it. I booked an Airbnb this time. But anyways, that's a different story. But yeah, I would 100% not buy grocery. I would just book a place for a week, you know, live day by day. Kind of like for the first 2 weeks is your grace period, because you don't know what your hospital is going to do in America. Canadian travel nursing is completely different. They are not going to cancel you for no reason. So yeah, those are the things that I've learned. And be safe. If you are a woman traveling by yourself, make sure you do not go out past a certain time. Ask people around you, your coworkers around you, is it safe to go outside at a certain time? Carry your pepper spray, your trigger alarm. Just know your environment, because I was just a naive girl, like trying to, you know, in the city, like I would be out like in Toronto, like late at night. And for me, I've never thought about that because I grew up there all my life. But as a woman, you just need to be a little bit more aware of the surroundings. So yeah, so that's all my advices. So don't let me discourage you from going travel nursing, but hey, this is my experience and I'm grateful for all the things I've learned, even though they were not all lovely, but but I'm grateful to know them. But anyways, this is a long video. I'm surprised you're still here if you are. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, and yeah, bye.